On a chilly autumn evening, a group of friends decided to explore an abandoned asylum that had long been forgotten by time and society. As they approached the crumbling structure, the air grew heavy with an unsettling mix of anticipation and dread. The once imposing building loomed before them, its windows like hollow eyes watching their every move. They stepped through the rusty gates, their flashlights flickering against the darkened walls, casting eerie shadows that danced around them. It was then that they heard it, a faint whisper, almost indistinguishable from the rustling leaves outside. They paused, exchanging nervous glances, but curiosity pushed them forward. As they ventured deeper into the asylum, the atmosphere thickened, and the air felt electric with unspoken tension. The walls were adorned with peeling paint and remnants of a troubled past, each room telling a story of despair and loss. Suddenly, one of the friends caught a glimpse of movement from the corner of her eye. She turned quickly, but there was nothing there, just the remnants of shattered furniture and decaying medical equipment. The group pressed on, their hearts pounding in their chests. They reached what appeared to be a treatment room, and that's when the temperature dropped sharply. A chill swept through the air, and their breaths became visible, a fog of fear that surrounded them. Moments later, a loud crash echoed through the corridor, causing them to jump. Panic set in as they instinctively sprinted toward the exit, but the once familiar path felt foreign and twisted. The whispers grew louder, swirling around them like a storm. In a frenzy, they stumbled into a room filled with old, rusted hospital beds. As they caught their breath, one friend noticed a shadow lurking in the corner. It seemed to pulse with a life of its own, dark and formless. Just as they were about to flee, the shadow shifted, revealing a figure, a translucent silhouette of a patient, eyes hollow and pleading. Time stood still, and their minds raced with disbelief. How could this be? Was it a trick of the light, or had they truly crossed into another realm? The figure raised a hand, and a wave of sorrow washed over them. In that fleeting moment, they felt the weight of countless untold stories, the pain of those who had once called this place home. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, they bolted from the asylum, the haunting echoes of the past following them into the night. They never spoke of what they saw, but the experience lingered, etching itself into their memories forever. In another part of the country, a lone urban explorer ventured into an abandoned factory rumored to be haunted. This factory had once been a bustling hub of activity, but now it stood silent, a ghost of its former self. As he stepped inside, the smell of rust and decay filled the air. He was armed with nothing but his camera and a sense of adventure, but soon that thrill morphed into something far more sinister. The explorer moved cautiously through the darkened hallways, his flashlight illuminating broken machinery and scattered debris. Each step echoed ominously, and he felt a growing sense of being watched. He brushed it off as paranoia until he heard a soft, rhythmic tapping that seemed to come from nowhere. It was a sound that ignited a primal fear within him, but curiosity pushed him to follow it deeper into the factory. As he rounded a corner, the tapping intensified, now accompanied by a low hum that vibrated in his bones. He stumbled upon a room where the walls were covered in strange symbols and markings, remnants of a time long forgotten. The atmosphere shifted dramatically, and the air felt thick, almost suffocating. Just then he heard it, a voice, faint but clear, calling his name. His heart raced as he turned to leave, but the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Panic surged through him as he pounded on the door, desperate to escape. He could feel the temperature drop, the shadows around him growing darker, more pronounced. Then, in the corner of his eye, he noticed a figure emerge from the shadows, a gaunt silhouette that seemed to beckon him closer. In that instant, his instincts kicked in, and he shoved the door with all his strength, managing to break free. He ran blindly through the factory, the voice still echoing in his mind. Once outside, he collapsed against the wall, gasping for air. He never returned, haunted by the experience that left him questioning the very nature of reality. Finally, we journey to an abandoned amusement park, a place that was once filled with laughter and joy, now overrun by nature and time. A group of thrill-seekers decided to sneak in after dark, drawn by urban legends of spirits that roamed the grounds. Armed with nothing but their phones to capture the adventure, they navigated through overgrown paths and rusting rides, the thrill of the unknown electrifying their senses. As they approached the old Ferris wheel, they began to feel uneasy. The air was heavy with an inexplicable tension, and the distant sound of laughter echoed through the park, sending chills down their spines. They brushed it off as their imaginations running wild, but the unease lingered. They took turns snapping photos, trying to capture the spirit of the place, but the photos revealed something unsettling. In each shot, a shadowy figure seemed to loom in the background, just out of focus, yet always watching. As they climbed aboard the Ferris wheel, the creaking metal underfoot felt ominous. They shared nervous laughter, trying to shake off the feeling of dread. But as they reached the top, the laughter abruptly stopped. The world around them fell silent. The wind ceased to blow, and an eerie stillness enveloped the park. From their vantage point, they spotted a flickering light in the distance. It pulsed rhythmically, drawing them in like moths to a flame. They decided to investigate, descending from the wheel and making their way towards the light. The closer they got, the more the air thickened with a sense of foreboding. Suddenly, the light vanished, plunging them into darkness. Panic set in as they realized they were no longer alone. Shadows danced around them, whispering secrets of the past, and the laughter returned, but it was hollow, devoid of joy. They felt cold hands brushing against their skin, and a primal fear gripped them as they ran for their lives, desperate to escape the amusement park that had transformed from a place of fun into a dark, twisted nightmare. Each of these experiences serves as a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie within abandoned places. They are not merely forgotten structures. They are vessels of history, holding echoes of lives once lived and stories yet untold. The fear that gripped these explorers speaks to a deeper, universal truth about our encounters with the unknown. As they left these haunted locations behind, they carried with them more than just memories. They carried the weight of an experience that would forever alter their understanding of reality. The thrill of exploration entwined with the terror of the unknown, reminding us all that some places are better left undisturbed. For those brave enough to venture into the forgotten corners of the world, always remember to tread lightly, for you may not be alone. If you are inspired by these stories and want to learn how to create videos with artificial intelligence like this one, discover how to earn in dollars on YouTube. Link in bio to find out more.